Rhonda.
And I'm Andrew.
And welcome back to our channel, Travels with Rhonda and Andrew.
Yes, welcome back.
Yes, welcome back everyone, and thank you all for watching. We really appreciate it.
We certainly do.
Yes. Well, unfortunately, it's the final countdown. So welcome to episode 5 of our Diamond Princess escapade to Southern Australia with our lovely, trusty sidekicks, Carmel and Jeff.
Now, we're actually hitting the last port, which is Port Lincoln,
Yes.
before our bittersweet sail back to reality, aka Melbourne. Prepare for our final shenanigans, plus Rhonda's unforeseen distraction. And a few tearful goodbyes to the unlimited drinks package.
That was very sad to say goodbye to that.
Will we make the most of our last moments of freedom? What unexpected news waits for Carmel and Jeff?
Oh, I know.
Plus more. Tune in and find out.
Okay, hello everyone. Hi Carmel, hi Jeff,
Hi.
Andrew,
Hi.
of course.
Hi, guys.
Welcome back.
Thank you.
Yes.
And oh gosh, what did we think of Penneshaw?
Returning to the
yesterday?
scene of the crime.
Did it bring back any special memories?
Well, it didn't really, did it? Because it all looks so different.
It all changed so much.
But it was good fun.
Yeah.
It was good fun searching
And
for the
For the hotel, and finding the hotel was a bit of a buzz, wasn't it?
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah. And in my head, it was nowhere near where I thought it was. I don't know what. It's funny how it.
Yep.
Just I wouldn't have expected it where it was, but. Yeah.
And even the entire town in that 50 years has changed very dramatically from the point of view that none of the boat staging area was there in those days, and that was just all seafront and this most magnificent 3-mile stretch of white sand beach, which is now all gone.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, they've got that breakwater,
That's
or
right.
that's where they got the port.
Yeah, exactly.
Yep.
Yeah. Still, it was good.
Yes. So now we're off to Port Lincoln.
Port
So we're
Lincoln,
enjoying
a
our
day in Port Lincoln.
Yes.
Enjoying
And
our day in Port Lincoln.
it's our last port.
Yes.
And then we've got a day back on
A
board.
sea day.
Sea
and then
day.
back home.
Yeah, and it'll be nice. So we just do our own thing in Port Lincoln, and
Yeah, it'll be nice. You've
it'll-
never been there before,
No.
so it'll be good to see what it has to
It
offer.
will, yes. Okay, we sailed overnight from Penneshaw to Port Lincoln, a casual 350 kilometres or 218 miles for anybody that's interested, or for those playing at home. We arrived bright and early, ready to explore.
Yes, we did.
And what a harbour it is. We're sitting on Boston Bay, which, as the Princess Cruise Guide informed us, is the largest natural harbour in Australia. It's very big.
Wow.
As we all know, Australia's harbours are all supersized.
Yes, of course they are.
This coastal paradise is famous for a few things. Pristine beaches, obviously, it's typical Australia, right?
Right.
Right.
Abundant wildlife, because everything here either stings, bites, or is incredibly cute. And of course,
Seafood. Yes.
With a local population of around 15,000, Port Lincoln has a thriving aquaculture industry. In fact, it's particularly well known for 2 things: oysters and great white sharks.
Great white sharks.
And yes, you heard right, oysters and great white sharks. So you can enjoy the freshest seafood while contemplating what else might be lurking in the water. It's all part of the Port Lincoln charm, I guess.
I guess. So, we've arrived in Port Lincoln.
We have.
And the plan is, well, there isn't much of a plan, which is often the best plan, right?
Correct. Yep.
Princess had a few tours on offer, but we decided to go rogue and hit the town ourselves, which is thankfully was relatively close to the pier.
It was.
Thank goodness.
Jeff, however, decided to stay on board. We suspected he just wanted to beat the crowds to the buffet, but he said he was resting his sea legs. We're not entirely convinced
about this. So the rest of us, Carmel, Andrew and myself, set off down the pier, pausing only for a quick photo shoot because we needed proof that we were here. But there was another little crisis we had to face. Whether to bus or not to bus into town.
Yeah, that's right.
I know it's only 2 kilometres and it was only $10 each, but decisions.
What did we do?
Well, in the end we chose to bus because walking is for people who've been on a cruise for a week.
Yes, true. And Rhonda, do you think perhaps we should have done that Pilates class we walked away from?
Oh, yes.
Absolutely, we needed to do that Pilates class because we didn't have our fitness up.
Yeah, that's in episode 2 for anybody who's wondering what we're talking about.
Yes. Oh dear.
And that's when the real adventure began. You see, Port Lincoln wasn't just about exploring a new town, it was also about dental drama.
Oh, no.
Mid-stroll, Rhonda's tooth decided to stage a rebellion and mine went out in sympathy, causing her to make a very important call to her dentist back in Melbourne.
Yes.
No.
So while we were admiring the local sights, Rhonda was scheduling a rendezvous with destiny of the dental kind.
Oh, dear, oh dear.
Well, you might be wondering how this dental drama could have been avoided. Well, we always compile a comprehensive list of like a pre-cruise checklist.
Yes.
And we check off clothing, equipment and medical things.
Medication
and just make sure we've got everything under control.
Yeah.
Now, I don't know why we didn't book a dental appointment. We have on other cruise before other holidays, but we just forgot about this time. Well, apparently, teeth don't adhere to vacation schedules.
No, they do not.
They do not.
No.
Okay, after we sorted out that dental appointment and a couple of painkillers, we hit the pavement and came across the obligatory market that always seems to pop up when cruise ships are moored in town. You know those ones, the local crafts, jams, that sort of thing.
Yep.
But unlike Penneshaw, Carmel and Rhonda could not be tempted to make a purchase.
No, we didn't.
No, we didn't.
We were very restrained.
Why didn't
we? We were restrained.
Well, you were. But I suspect it was the painkillers were still kicking in and Rhonda was in no mood for shopping.
Well, I wasn't a happy shopper.
No. And Carmel was always hard to tempt unless it's frocks and handbags.
Correct. That's quite right. Then the day took another turn. Rhonda suddenly announced that she was in need of let's call it a comfort station with some urgency. Jeff, look what you missed out on.
You should have come. It was so much fun.
And of course, the nearest public lavatory had a door with a mind of its own. So Andrew was assigned to Operation Door Holder. Yes, folks, the Port Lincoln adventure involved more door holding than sightseeing. But you know, a crisis was averted and so we moved on.
Thank goodness.
After navigating Rhonda's various crises, we could finally stroll along the beautiful Port Lincoln Foreshore and enjoy the tranquility of the town. And it was very pretty, wasn't it?
It's a beautiful town.
It was lovely.
Lovely. And beautiful old big trees.
Gorgeous.
Yeah, lovely. We passed statues dedicated to the fishing industry, a subtle reminder that this place certainly takes its seafood seriously. And in the distance, our majestic cruise ship, the Diamond Princess, beckoned us back to its all-you-can-eat embrace.
Yeah.
This time though, we decided to walk.
We did.
Because after all that excitement, we needed to stretch our legs and also keep an eye out for any rogue great white sharks.
Or white pointers.
You know, just in case the statues weren't intimidating enough.
For dinner, we headed to our favourite restaurant, Vivaldi, on deck 4. The ambience was lovely and the food was even better. After enjoying a selection of starters, we all tucked in some well-chosen mains. Rhonda went with a slow roasted prime rib with rosemary juice, baked potato, green beans and charcoal tomato. Carmel had a spinach ricotta ravioli with pasta sauce and parmesan. Andrew, sweet and sour blue prawns, fragrant jasmine rice and wok fried Asian vegetables.
Oh, sounds yummy. Jeff never wanted to miss an opportunity to splash out, ordered a filet mignon and lobster tail. Because as you know, it is a vacation.
Good on you, Jeff.
Yeah, absolutely. That was delicious, wasn't it?
Yep.
But the real spectacle of the evening came after the mains. Princess, in a move that can only be described as dinner theatre meets occupational health and safety hazard, introduced us passengers to the kitchen staff and chefs, who paraded throughout the dining room to the diners waving their napkins in the air feverishly.
It was a good show, wasn't it? It was good to look at.
It was.
Yeah.
And it actually was a sight to behold, a sea of white uniforms waving linen like some kind of synchronised napkin dance. And then, as if the napkin waving wasn't dramatic enough, we devoured a gelato baked bomb Alaska.
Yes.
Which, as far as we can tell, is a mandatory tradition after the napkin waving ceremony. It's like the cruise director thinks we won't have dessert unless it's presented with maximum fanfare.
Oh, golly. Well, that brings our day to a close. And what are your thoughts of Port Lincoln?
Oh, I loved Port Lincoln, to be honest. And you know what I liked? Hopping off the ship and not needing a tender. We landed we're at the wharf, which was nice, wasn't
Yes,
it?
Yeah, it was
And
a good walk down
good
the
walk
pier.
down.
Pier.
And the walk back was lovely.
Yes, and we could do that at our leisure because
Yeah.
there's no rushing for anything.
Nice
It's
little
great.
town. Went to a few shops, didn't we? Had a little look around.
It was nice.
So it was enjoyable.
And Jeff, did you enjoy your day by yourself without us?
What did he get up to?
Yes, that's for another day.
Oh well, tomorrow
yes.
it's our last day, and
Yes,
we've got a day at
very
sea
sad.
before we arrive back.
Oh,
so.
sad.
Very
Sad.
Yes. Okay, well, our epic voyage is drawing to a close with just one more sea day left before we're forced to disembark into the real world of Melbourne. And it was so sad because you go back to your room that night and what's waiting for you on your bed? Those disembarkment tags.
Oh, the luggage tags.
The luggage tags.
Yes. Yeah.
Well, they're the equivalent of getting your final exam schedule, aren't they?
I think it just sent you into a little loop of depression or
Oh,
something.
gosh, you just want to throw them overboard
Yeah, you
and
do.
pretend you never got them.
Yes.
Anyway, it's a bittersweet moment. Enjoy that we don't have to queue for the buffet anymore.
Yeah.
But it's tinged with sadness that our free cocktails are about to end.
Oh no.
More than tinged, Rhonda.
And
We're
that's all, folks.
devastated. Oh dear.
So, how did we spend our final day of glorious freedom? We basically wandered aimlessly around the ship,
That's right, we did.
possibly in a mild state of denial that the fun was ending.
Yes.
And I also received an unexpected phone call, but more of that later.
Yeah, oh yes. Can't wait to hear that.
And now, prepare to be amazed, or mildly impressed, as we present our short whirlwind tour of the Diamond Princess. We begin our tour on Deck 5 Plaza, or as we like to call it, the Grand Plaza. Though grand might be a bit of an overstatement, it's cosy, let's just say that. Here you'll find the lovely Good Spirits Bar, where they serve equally great coffee and cocktails, because on a cruise you need both to navigate the day. Forward on this deck is the Shore Tours desk, where you can book those fabulous shore tours. You know, the ones that promise unforgettable experiences and usually involve a bus ride and a gift shop. And aft of the Grand Plaza are two of the main dining rooms. Vivaldi Dining Room, our personal favourite, for reasons that will become very clear when you see the food highlighted in our videos. Plus, the Savoy dining room.
And now we ascend to Deck 6, Fiesta, home to the Grand Casino. Now, this isn't your average casino. It's a place where fortunes are won, lost, and occasionally dignity is misplaced. Further aft, we encounter the Shops of Princess, a collection of boutiques that offer everything from duty-free delights to souvenirs you'll probably forget you bought. Also on this deck, you'll find the Santa Fe and Pacific Moon dining rooms, located midship, offering more culinary adventures. And finally, towards the rear of the ship, we have the International Dining Room for those who like a view with their meal.
Moving on to Deck 7 Promenade, we find ourselves at the front of the ship, where the Grand Princess Theatre is located. This is where you'll catch all the big shows, from Broadway-style productions to comedians whose jokes are almost as old as the ship itself. Heading aft, we arrive at our personal sanctuary, the Wheelhouse Bar. This is our go-to spot, our cheers at sea, where we spend most evenings discussing the day's adventures and misadventures over a drink or two, or maybe 3. Continuing aft, we pass Crooner's Bar and the Explorer's Lounge, before reaching the 2 specialty restaurants, Kai Sushi for those craving expertly sliced raw fish, and Sabatini's Trattoria for those who prefer their food cooked and Italian themed. And finally, at the rear of the ship, we have Club Fusion, which is a multi-purpose entertainment venue. It's the place where anything can happen, and often does, including events like the Captain's Circle Club function, an event so exclusive even we're not entirely sure what happens there. And just to add to the allure of Deck 7, the promenade offers a full outside walk around the entire ship, stretching about 1,500 feet, or 457 metres, perfect for those scenic strolls where you can ponder life's big questions like, where did I leave my sunglasses? Or, is it too early for another cocktail?
And if you ascend to Deck 12, you'll find yourself at the terrace pool, located at the ship's rear. This area is perpetually serene, offering us stunning views of the ship's wake, perfect for contemplating the vastness of the ocean, or perhaps just how much gelato you consumed at the buffet.
Reaching Deck 14 Lido, we plunge into the heart of the ship's aquatic offerings. Here you'll find the outdoor Neptune's pool, a sprawling and spacious area that's perfect for comfortable swimming and sunbathing, or, as we like to call it, prime real estate for perfecting your tan and people watching skills. And just a stone's throw away is the Calypso pool, the ship's covered indoor pool, which provides a fantastic relaxed atmosphere, ideal for those days when you just want to escape the sun or practice your synchronised swimming routine away from prying eyes. At the aft of this deck, you'll also find the Horizon Court, a buffet-style restaurant serving breakfast, lunch and dinner. Here, guests can enjoy a variety of dishes, including fresh fruits, signature pastas and desserts, plus customisable options like create your own salads and sandwiches. And, perhaps most importantly, it's a prime location for indulging in decadent desserts, because what's a cruise without unlimited cake? The buffet extends to the outdoor Horizon Terrace, complete with a bar, our sweet spot for enjoying a drink or two while gazing out to sea.
And finally, we arrive at Deck 15, Sun. At the bow end, you'll find the Lotus Spa, which offers a variety of spa treatments, a full-service salon, and the gym. It's the perfect place to get pampered, prepped, and possibly persuaded into buying overpriced lotions. Further down to the aft sits the Izumi Japanese Bar, a unique feature offering a traditional Japanese onsen experience at sea. It's a large, luxurious bathhouse with both indoor and outdoor facilities, including steam rooms, saunas, and hot tubs with ocean views. Think of it as a giant communal hot tub where you can relax, unwind, and contemplate the mysteries of the deep, or at least where you left your towel.
Now, moving on to Deck 16 Sports, we find the Sanctuary. This tranquil deck space is reserved exclusively for adults. Spend the day in total bliss as you relax poolside with a craft cocktail. Order some bites and beverages from a custom menu. Here, the lounge chairs aren't just padded, they're dressed in upscale cushions with fluffy towels. Water is infused with fresh fruit, and cabanas make room for al fresco massages. It's basically a fancy daycare for grown-ups, designed to help you forget you have kids, or a job, or any responsibilities whatsoever. They've essentially taken all the best parts of a spa and a high-end resort and then put up a "Do Not Disturb" sign on the entire deck.
And finally, on Deck 17, Sky, is where the Skywalkers nightclub is located. This isn't just your average cruise ship disco. It's a large, modern dance club offering panoramic views of the sea. It features a lively atmosphere with a DJ spinning what we're told is popular music, though be warned, your mileage may vary. Colourful neon lighting that may or may not induce flashbacks to the 70s, and a bar serving cool cocktails, though again, coolness is subjective. Think of it as the ship's attempt to recreate a trendy land-based club, but with the added bonus of potentially swaying to the music in time with the ocean's rhythm. It's the perfect place to dance the night away, or at least until you realise you have an early morning shore excursion and need to be somewhat functional. What did we all think of that ship? Oh, I thought it was beautiful.
I loved
it was
it.
good.
I loved it.
Great.
Yeah.
It was just easy to manoeuvre around.
Yes.
Everything was
Our cabin, we really loved our cabin.
Oh,
Yeah.
and that spot where
Our location was second to none.
Such a little thing,
Yeah.
but like a wardrobe space. It was like a little area. It wasn't a wardrobe, was it?
It's almost like a little walk-in
It
wardrobe.
was like a
Yeah.
walk-in. And you see, just your clothes could all go away. And,
That's right.
and what else? It was,
And it's like it's a big ship, but it's not that big, so you can
No.
easily walk around
Yes.
without,
yeah.
and very easy to navigate.
Yes. You
Yeah.
didn't feel like you got lost all the time at all.
It
did you?
definitely is a lovely, lovely ship.
And staff, I didn't come across one staff
No,
person who wasn't really lovely.
best staff.
Really
Yes,
good.
they were fantastic.
And to carry on with our theme of the cruise, we also made the most of the drinks package.
Oh, we did.
Yeah,
Actually.
because it would be
Not
rude
every
not to, wouldn't it?
Correct.
Not every day, not every minute of every day.
But every day.
Yeah. Well, check out this. Got a few moments where we did enjoy a beverage delight on the course of the entire epic adventure. So that may have been every day. I've got to say, Jeff, what about our sweet spot on the back of the ship or the aft of the ship?
Our little sanctuary.
Oh, wasn't it?
Yes.
Yeah, it was tucked away out of the wind, a beautiful view, and very easy to just while away a few hours there.
Yeah, you got to know the barman very
Yeah,
well.
yeah. He used to see me coming, and he would already have a drink for me by the time I got there.
Now that's service.
So, yeah, exactly. Yeah.
And Carmel, we also tried our luck at the pokies.
We
You know,
did.
those one-arm bandits of the seven seas. Perhaps luring us sailors to financial freedom or doom.
And see, I thought nobody ever won on the pokies on a ship.
No, exactly.
Oh, we did okay.
We did very well. We had a good afternoon,
We did.
had a few drinks,
We
had
did.
a nice
and got to
relaxing
play
time.
for quite a long time spending their money.
Spending their money, we actually came out with a little bit extra,
did.
so we were very happy.
It was good fun.
It was a good day.
And of course, we sampled a few of the ship's attractions, just for research purposes.
Of course.
Have you learned anything? Did you ever watch YouTube to see if they've got any new ones there? No, I don't blame you. You should be giving the lessons, right? I think it's alright. I think you've done better than really struggling over there. I think.
All good in the hood. I could be better, but now I saw him. And so.
So you two not get on, no?
No. Only once in a while.
Yeah.
Yeah,
We don't even live on the same.
But fear not, fellow cruisers. Our final video wouldn't be complete without our insightful and occasionally sarcastic thoughts on the ship itself. We'll be giving you the highlights and the lowlights, of course, and what we loved and what we tolerated. So stay tuned for our final verdict on the Diamond Princess and whether this cruise is worth emptying your bank account for.
For me, the cruise had its highs and lows, much like the ship's gentle rocking, though. In this case, the lows weren't quite as smooth. Let's start with the high, though. Disembarking after a long day of exploring. Picture this, you're exhausted, possibly slightly sunburned, possibly not quite as fit as you should be because you didn't do a Pilates class, and definitely carrying at least 3 new souvenirs you didn't need. The thought of navigating a chaotic crowd is enough to make you want to stay ashore. But Princess, they handled it like a switch watchmaker with a degree in crowd control, to be honest. It was quick, it was efficient, and it was organised. We were back on board, showered, contemplating our next meal before you could say, "Where did I put my sunscreen?" It was the smoothest operation I've ever witnessed.
They were fantastic.
They
at
were
that.
very good.
Yep.
Then there was the low,
No, what was the low?
Oh,
Yeah,
dear.
the low.
Well, the room service breakfast. The room service breakfast. It was an experience I wouldn't recommend to my worst enemy. Well, maybe my worst enemy. I ordered the simple things, the things you can't really mess up. Toast, tea and juice. I mean, how can that be right?
Exactly.
Apparently harder than navigating the Bermuda Triangle, although that's a little bit harsh. The tea arrived lukewarm. Oh dear, I hate lukewarm tea. Leading me to suspect it had been brewed sometime during the last cruise. The toast. It was barely kissed by the toaster. It was more like warm bread with a slight tan. And while the juice was indeed juice, it wasn't enough to wash away the disappointment. It was less breakfast in bed and more breakfast adjacent.
Oh no, when you're looking forward to something,
I
it is a
know.
bit disappointing, isn't it?
So to sum up, Princess gets you back on the ship like a dream, but their room service breakfast is the stuff of nightmares. But hey, at least I didn't have to share my barely toasted toast with anybody else.
Yeah, Jeff here. My cruise experience was a tale of 2 very different aspects. First, the high, the Princess's medallion system. This thing is the future of cruising, I tell you. From the moment we started on board, it was like the ship knew us personally.
Oh, wow.
Effortlessly boarding, stateroom entry, so easy it felt like magic, and Wi-Fi that actually worked. I finally posted my cruise photos without buffering for 3 days, but that's not all. It also let us locate our travel buddies, perfect for when somebody wanders off in search of the nearest bar. Order drinks and snacks on demand, because who wants to leave their comfy lounge?
No, neither. None of us, I don't think.
And the Medallion Net app kept us updated with event schedules and allowed us to book activities with a few taps. It was like having a personal cruise
It
assistant.
was pretty good, wasn't
Yeah,
it?
it's marvellous, really.
Now for the low, the food. And it pains me to say this because, it's a cruise. But alas, some of the dishes at the Horizon Buffet were a bit tired. You could tell they'd been sitting there for a while, losing their oomph. And in the restaurant, while the service was impeccable, some of our dishes arrived lukewarm, which is a cardinal sin in the
They did.
culinary world.
They
They
were,
did
yeah.
too, yeah.
Just was a
Yeah.
shame. But
It's like they were teasing us with the promise of deliciousness, but then snatched it away on the side of humdrum. So overall, the medallion system is a game changer, a solid 10 out of 10, but the food was a bit of a mixed bag.
Yeah.
You're
Fair
right, it
comment.
was a little
Yeah.
bit, wasn't it?
For me, the absolute high was that grill. I can't remember how to
You
pronounce
must mean the churrascaria Brazilian grill.
Oh, I got it.
That's
Yes.
the one.
well done.
This Brazilian style steakhouse was
Oh,
divine.
yes, it was.
They offer a variety of meats cooked in Churrasco tradition, with service presenting skewered meats and carving them into your plate. It was an absolute culinary delight.
Oh, it's beautiful.
It was just delicious. Yeah.
One of the best meals we've ever had at
I
sea,
think so.
reckon. Yeah, for sure.
But on the low side, Diamond Princess lacks the convenience of an international cafe located near the piazza.
Yeah.
On all other Princess ships, and particularly the ones we've been on, they always have that, because it's just a fantastic spot to grab, pastries and sandwiches in the
Right.
heart of the ship.
Yes.
But they just don't have
And
that on.
sometimes you just don't want to have a big lunch or anything.
No.
You just want something like a little sandwich or a little roll and a cup of tea.
Well,
That's true.
Yeah.
Well, this was definitely missed
Yeah,
on the ship.
definitely.
Right.
And we heard a few people saying that, in the crowd, saying that they should have had this.
Oh, well.
Yeah, it's a big
interesting.
miss. Yeah. Well, if I had to sum up the high points of my cruise, it would definitely be the staff.
Oh,
I
yes.
thought the staff on this ship were amazing. They were so attentive.
They were.
You felt like you were royalty. And you felt very close to them. Like they like treated you like almost like friends.
Yes.
And when you've been on for a few days, they knew what you would like to drink, so you didn't even have to ask for drinks. The
that's
drinks were there
right.
waiting for you.
Yeah. They're
and
very good.
Oh, amazing! And everything was done with a smile on their face,
It
and
was.
they were just always happy to serve us, which was fantastic.
It was.
Now, my low point is a little bit tough, but I'm going to agree with Jeff with some of the food. I thought in the Vivaldi dining room could have come out hotter. It was still all very edible,
It was.
but it just needed to just be that little bit
Just a bit
hotter,
warmer, yep.
just to make it taste a little bit nicer. But apart from that, everything was fantastic.
It was just a minor first world
Oh,
Problem. Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah, then a true complaint. True.
Yeah,
Yeah,
because
that's
it was delicious.
Oh, look, and I'm really finding it hard to find something negative to say, but that was
I think, yeah.
probably it.
We awoke the next morning to the gentle rocking of the Diamond Princess as she gracefully glided into Port Phillip Bay.
Yes.
The rising sun painted with the sky with blue hues of pink and gold, a picturesque farewell to our seabound adventure as we crept towards our berth at the Port Melbourne pier. A tinge of sadness washed over us, a poignant reminder that all good things, including cruises with delectable buffets and questionable tan lines, must eventually come to an end. And if you caught our first video in this series, Carmel mentioned they had listed their home of over 50 years for sale.
That's correct, yes.
Yes, basically on the day of embarking on the cruise.
Right.
We're aware that Carmel, that you did receive an unexpected call from your agent, didn't you?
I did, yes.
On the last day of the cruise.
Yep.
Can you sort of enlighten us what content of that
Well,
cruise?
yeah, the agent rang me and to let us know that we'd sold our house unconditionally for the amount of money that we were asking and hoping for. And it had been on the market virtually just the time of we were on our cruise, or 10 days, 7 days, yeah. So it was very exciting, wasn't it?
It certainly was.
So we sort of enjoyed our cruise, but just
Got a bonus.
just daunted to think we had to go back and start packing up. But,
Yeah, that's true.
but no, it was a
What
bonus.
a great way to sell a house,
It
go on a
was-
cruise.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, it was
Takes
effortless.
all the stress
It was
away,
effortless.
doesn't
It was
Yeah.
effortless. It
That's
was really
right.
good. Yeah, we were
Yeah.
really lucky.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, that brings our video to a close.
Oh.
I know.
Yes, what they say, that's a wrap. So, Jeff, just quickly, what would you rate our cruise
Oh,
overall.
4 stars out of 5.
4 out of 5, yes. Definitely, for sure.
At least,
yes.
Look, everybody, thank you so much for watching, and we'll see you in our next video series. In that video series, we're going to attempt some very questionable ballroom dancing on the Queen Elizabeth. So stay tuned for that in future days.
Stay tuned.
Bye.
Goodbye.
Bye.
Bye. Bye.